I have for you the 8 best rash guards for no-gi jiu-jitsu. I've tested these, I've rolled in these, I've used them pretty extensively. So I'm going to cover everything you need to know on each rash guard, rank them from number 8 down to number 1, and give you my insights into what I think is the better jiu-jitsu rash guard for your training. As always, the links will be down in the description and the first link in the comment if you wish to purchase any of these. So let's start at number 8, and that is this Lefroy brand. Now you would have only seen this if you were searching for rash guards on Amazon. It's one of the top ones that always pops up, and for some reason it is advertised as a jiu-jitsu rash guard, but it's actually better used for, I guess, surfing and being in the water. And I say that just because of the way it feels and the material. It feels like just a typical swimming rash guard. It doesn't mean it's useless for jiu-jitsu, but just bear that in mind that it is probably not designed for that specific activity, which means that you are missing some of the features that you may want in a rash guard. For example, it has a really loose waist area, and it doesn't have the sweat and moisture wicking properties that other rash guards have. And because of that, it does come in at $19.99, so it is one of the cheapest rash guards. They do have some pretty cool designs like this one with the tattoo sleeve on it, but you are on the lower quality end of jiu-jitsu rash guards. So if you are on a budget, this can be an option, but it will just feel like you are in just a typical swimming rash guard. Which brings me to number 7, and that is the same price, $19.99, but the Elite Sports rash guard. Now, I'm not a huge fan of this rash guard. It kind of doesn't fit nicely like a typical rash guard. It has this weird waistband thing. So typically on rash guard, you'll get anti-slip gel waistbands, and they'll typically just stop the rash guard riding up when you're rolling hard. This has like a thick, almost like a weighted waistband to try and keep it tight against your skin. Does nothing. It doesn't stop it rolling up. It's just kind of there as an annoying thing. Even though it might advertise itself as having this kind of waistband to keep it tight, it doesn't do anything. It is really thin, so I don't know if you can see through this on the camera. Oh, you can. So it is a very thin rash guard, but on the bright side, it has really good stitching, so you're not going to have any problems with that, but you will potentially have problems down the line with wear and tear as it is very, very thin. Also, the sleeves are relatively loose, as you can see here. So it won't be very tight. It will have some tightness around your arms, but it won't be very tight like most other rash guards that are form-fitting. Now, for $19.99, if you're on a budget, you're just looking for a cheap rash guard, maybe you're just starting jiu-jitsu, or you're just looking for something to add to your collection so you've got more of them, sure. Go with something like this, but again, you're getting what you pay for with a rash guard like this and a rash guard like Lefroy. Now, the number 6 and number 5 positions, I'm going to bring together on this one. So at number 6, I have the Bull rash guard, or the Ascendable Essential lines. Now, this actually used to be, I think, the same price as the Elite Sports one. So it used to be $20, but they recently put the price up. It's now closer to $30 for this rash guard. However, I will say that the Ascendable rash guard, the material, the way it fits and its design is far superior to the Elite Sports one, even though you'll probably put them in the similar category. So even though you're paying a little more for Ascendable, it's actually quite a solid rash guard, especially for a budget price. You have really good, decent stitching. It is still relatively thin, but it fits better, the material feels better, and you don't have that weird waistband that Elite Sports put there. However, you do have a very loose waistband area, so it does tend to ride up during hard rolls. Then you also have the RDX version, which I think is just a compression, I guess, jiu-jitsu top, like this. Again, very similar material to Ascendable, and it's only $26.99. So you could class this as another budget-ish rash guard version. Fits nicely. Again, relatively thin material, a really loose waistband area, but it does have really good reinforced stitching and has a very similar stretch to Bull and some of the other rash guards. So let's get to the business end of this rash guard review. We've got number 4. We have Gold BJJ. I actually really, really like this rash guard. There's only one complaint for me that brings it down to this 4th position, and that is the sizing. I'm a large in all my sizes, all my clothes, all my rash guards, but with Gold BJJ, the large is too small, so you have to size up. So if you are going to purchase a Gold BJJ rash guard, which are really, really nice, you want to size up, just so you know. Now, it has nice reinforced stitching. The material is cooling. You can feel it now, and it isn't too stretchy like some of the other rash guards. It has stretch to it, of course, but if you compared this to the more budget options that I've shown you before this one, it does have less stretch, To me, it means it's higher quality because it has more of the polyester material in there, and it means it fits nicer as well. Outside of this, they are IBJJF legal, so if you compete in IBJJF, you're sorted with these. And you also have around the armpit area, a little mesh area, kind of like it's a breathable area to help with sweating and the heat. And outside of that, there's not much else to say. Really cool minimalist designs, great material, fits really well. Just make sure that you size up if you're looking at something like this. So let's go into the top 3. The Hayabusa Fusion Rash Guard. Now this will be the rash guard that has the least amount of stretch out of any rash guard on this list, and probably honestly, out of any rash guard you will find on the market, at least in my experience. It is definitely the most skin tight one. Now, if you are a larger jiu-jitsu athlete, then you may not enjoy wearing this because it can get very tight and very hard to move around. However, if you enjoy a rash guard that doesn't give you as much stretch and you feel a little more secure in it, then this is a great choice. You have short sleeve and long sleeve. You have a couple of really cool designs. You have really good reinforced flat lock stitching, and you have the anti-slip gel waistband. So it's not going to ride up during hard rolls. You have basically all the features that you want in a solid rash guard. And because it is only 6% spandex, whereas other rash guards typically go up to like 18, 20% spandex. It's the reason why you don't have as much stretch. Now, you can see it is very good quality. When you stretch it, you can't see anything through it. Now, the issue when it comes to the number 3 is because it costs $60. It is one of the most expensive rash guards that I have come across. And I think you can get rash guards that kind of feel better when you wear them and give you a little more freedom of movement for a similar or slightly less price. Plus you get more variations in design and you get similar features. So let's go to number 2. And that comes with X Martial. So X Martial have been on the scene for a while. They're probably known as the company with the most designs and the most, I guess you could say, flamboyant out there designs, you know, tuxedos, Dragon Ball Z, anything you can imagine, they probably have a design for it. Now, that doesn't mean that they're only known for their designs. The quality of their rash guards is actually really, really good. They have an anti-slip gel waistband, just like the Hayabusa ones, so that they don't ride up when you roll with them. You've got the flat lock reinforced stitching. You have nice stretch on these. Even though it is 20% spandex, you still don't have as much stretch as some of the cheaper ones on this list because the material isn't thin. It's actually a lot thicker than you would find than those cheaper ones, which means that it's not going to rip like some of those other ones potentially. It's form-fitting, it fits true to size. Now, if you do compete in IBJJF, they do not have IBJJF legal rash guards, which could be a problem for some of you. But if you just compete in super fights or you're not competing at all and you're just training, you can get plenty of designs with X Martial. Now, they will be on the pricier side, anywhere from $50 to $70, depending on the sales going on or which rash guard you buy. You can even get a discount down in the description as well, which will bring it down another 15% or so, I believe. So you can get these a lot cheaper depending on the promotions. Which brings me to my number 1 rash guard. And it is this one by RevGear. It's the RevGear Grizzly range. They released it, I guess, semi-recently. The material feels really damn nice. It is only 10% spandex, but you still get quite a bit of stretch out of it. So it is form-fitting. You have reinforced flat lock stitching. While you don't have a gel waistband, it does not ride up during hard rolls. And I've tested this. Because of the way it is form-fitting, it actually sits nicely around your trunk area so it doesn't ride up. And they also have IBJJF legal versions of these. So if you do compete in that, you've got options depending on what you're doing. Now, I will say their previous rash guard, the Bionic version, which is this one right here, I did not like that much. And to me, it does feel a little cheaper than the new range. And I mean, it is 20% spandex, so it is double the amount, and the material is a lot thinner in this Bionic rash guard. So if you're going to go with RevGear, I highly recommend you go with the Grizzly range. Their new range is damn good quality, fits nicely, feels really good. And there's some pretty cool designs in their new range. Now, if you think there's a rash guard that I missed in this review, let me know down in the comments so I can start reviewing more rash guards for you, and tell me which one you agree with or disagree with.